And welcome to the Daily Space Weather Show here at the Smash News Network. Least bust the name of news. We've kicked it into overdrive for tonight. So strap in your strap in with your safety belts or something, because we're going to be picking up the pace, and I don't mean the hot sauce. So let's take a look at, here is the closest star in HMI intensitygram, and that's quite a few sunspots. I think I may have been wrong with yesterday's forecast, so make sure you berate me in the comments. Anyway, there's the colorized magnetogram for today, which is February 7th, 2024. And don't forget to wish Mothra, my dear old mom, a happy birthday. Actually, she's not that old. Anyway, next we're looking at volcanoes, and these are the ones that are erupting. It's news to me as it may be news to you. Luatobe is producing some new real estate there as it fuses lava. Also Semeru, Popocatépetl, Santiaguito looking pretty beefy, producing an 15,000 foot plume of volcanic ash. Also Fuego, Nevado de Ruiz, Revenador, Sabancaya. Let's move on to earthquakes. These are the past 90 days. And it's actually been a pretty active 24 hours here. These are the 5 and greater magnitude quakes. El Salvador had a 5.1. Solomon Islands had a 5.0. Philippines had a 5.1. Philippines had a 5.1 again. All by 2:57 this morning, and then a 5.3. So there are some aftershocks. And my voice is declining rapidly. So fortunately, this video will be a little bit shorter than the usual ones because fast speeds. Anyway, back to some space weather stuff. Here come some more images from SDO. There's 304 angstroms for the past 24 hours. And eyes still on that sunspot in the southeast. It's pretty berserk. Solar flare watch continues. And before we get to more stuff like that, let's take a look at some stats. The 10.7 centimeter radial flux is at, I don't know, but there's the 1 year graph, which doesn't include the last day. It dropped down 2 points, so 2 solar flux units lower than yesterday at 188 solar flux units. And it looks like NOAA is not forecasting a CME impact. So I don't know, what can I say? Disagreements are what make the science world go round. So if you didn't watch our video yesterday, okay. I saw what I saw, and I call them like I see them. The day I stop calling them like I see them is the day I retire. So here's NOAA's Enlil spiral also, and you can see it looks like NOAA is, that's NASA's Enlil spiral, and not forecasting anything. Let's just take a brief look at the other one here, as they've got 2 different Enlil spirals. There's the other one, and yeah, no CMEs really showing up on that one either. These are the past 4 hours of Earth's magnetic moment from space, and it's fairly calm. There's still a high-speed stream going on. It's not real extreme. It's just a coronal hole high-speed stream there. And yeah, that's the past 4 hours of Earth's magnetic moment from space. There we have Earth's magnetic moment from the ground. Ta-da! That's what's going on. And this is the time when I get to rest. KP index at 1. It's geomagnetically calm. Solar wind data's next. ACE is showing half a proton per cubic centimeter at 457 kilometers a second. Discover is showing over 7 protons per cubic centimeter at 494 kilometers per second. So there's the coronal hole high-speed stream. It's also more dense at the Discover. GOES magnetometers here are smooth. Again, it is geomagnetically calm, despite that high-speed stream. Next, our top view ecliptic plane field plot, and some activity continuing in that southeastern limb. So Earth is about to move into a North Pole magnetic sector, assuming nothing rapidly changes. There you can see that North Pole sector approaching Earth's magnetic field line, shown in orange. The North Pole magnetic sector there, shown in green. Line of sight field plots next. It's a lot of information all at once. That is freaking awesome. That's the last 4 days of the sun's magnetic fields. Here's our line of sight coronal hole plot, and also not too shabby. And what do we have going on over here in the southeast? North to south, back to north, and it looks like it's back into a series of indecision. So yeah, we've got more South Pole coronal holes rotating in, and yeah, that's what's going on. Before we get to sunspots, coronal holes. The SDO 211 angstroms wavelength is optimal for coronal holes. And let's move to sunspots. Sunspot number here, stagnating. So I was wrong twice in a row with my sunspot forecasts. So again, make sure you berate me in the comments for that. Make sure you berate me in the comments. Leave all your rage comments below. And let us know if you are forecasting a hurricane that you think sunspots and hurricanes are the same thing or something. Make sure you let us know in the comments about that. All right, so here's our synoptic map, and yeah, we still have a high likelihood of large solar flares and of proton events. So 25% chance of a X-class flare as a result of sunspot 3576, which is this one down here, and sunspot 3575. So 3575 and 3576 are the two fresh sunspots right now. There's our flare probability monitor and scoreboard. Yeah, solar flare watch continues in both the southwestern limb and the southeastern quadrant. Here are sunspots from SDO once again. Dag. The voice is going, but I've got just enough left to complete this video. So there you go. There's a great view of the past 24 hours from Solar Dynamics Observatory. Proton flux remains flatlined. It is baseline levels for the proton flux. X-ray flux featured 3 M-class events. 4 in the past 48 hours. Let's just say 4 in the past 48 hours. There you go. 4 M-class flares. And let's take a look at those in the full close-up view. So there you go. There's 94 plus 131. And the T-mass has been that sunspot group down in the southwest. The largest flares of the M-class variety came from there. There are some more active regions looking like they're rising in the east, by the way. We'll talk more about that in tomorrow's video. Next, what am I doing? Where am I? What's my name? What date is it? What happened? Here's a star chart. That's what's happening now overhead Lehigh Valley. There you go. And here is our solar system forecast. There you go. There's all things will be on the 14th. We'll have a crescent waxing moon. Astronomy photo of the day is the heart-shaped antenna galaxies. There you go. 2 interacting galaxies there. It's a galactic merger. So it looks like it's probably a combination of visible and ultraviolet light, if I had to guess, which I certainly don't. We may have infrared spectra there also. I don't know, but apod.nasa.gov is where to look if you want to find out. apod.nasa.gov, and let's get to CMEs. CMEs, they're kind of important. And we have another event that may have an earthly directed component. Early this morning out of that southwestern limb once again. So let's take a look at some more coronagraphs here. We'll skip to the LASCO C2 and C3. And let me bring those back. I doubt that that has an earthly directed component, but we'll take a little closer look here at our custom coronagraphs. So was that a filament eruption, or was it associated with that flare? Let's look a little closer here. Let's look even closer here. Dag. What do we got going on? So I think there may be another earthly directed component there that would be likely to arrive sometime late in the day on the 10th, if that does have an earthly directed component, and I suspect it probably does. You can see some darkening up here, indicating that it is spreading out. So I think there's more ejecta headed our way. I guess, I don't know, stay tuned for the results in future daily space weather videos. So right down here, you'll see a bunch of plasma spreading out from that area. Right there. Right after the flare. Right there. Also, massive filaments here rising, indicating more active regions behind the eastern limb. Here's an extreme close-up of the equatorial view. Let's switch to filaments. Filaments. There you go. There you can see those prominences in the east and west, and at both solar polar regions. Some pretty big filaments on the Earth side of the disk. And before we get to bonus features, the GO 16 SUVI. So likelihood of coronal mass ejections nearly 100% going into tomorrow. Likelihood of solar flares very high. And let's get to bonus features. First bonus feature, satellite charging hazards. Nope, ain't got none. Goes electron flux, kind of low. High-speed coronal hole wind stream, what can you say? When it ends, we're expecting an uptick. That's the past year from Solon.info. And there are the relativistic electrons in forecast mode by NOAA. So it looks like NOAA is expecting a little higher levels than we see. They probably expected the coronal hole high-speed stream to end by now, and frankly, I did too. Next, we'll show the layer where it's measured. The F layer of the ionosphere. There it is. And my voice is declining rapidly. It's getting lower and lower. There's the anomalygram. There's the global ionosphere nowcast. Let's take a look at the latest. New sunspot rising down here. Yes, it is already a sunspot. And of course, we still do have massive magnetic shear on this group. So let's take a look at this briefly. That is Beta Gamma Delta class. So you see this area right here? That North Pole section there, creeping into that South Pole umbra. And also major magnetic shear right in this area. So very nice. Likelihood of X-class solar flares, very high. Here comes meteorology, starting with surface winds of the planet. Yes, planet Earth. It's our meteorology segment. It's another bonus feature. I realize that it's too easy to forecast Earth's weather. So let's start with North America today. There are the Americas. There you go. There are the surface winds of the West. Jet streams of the West. Jet streams of the central world. The surface winds. Surface winds of the East. And the jet streams. Clouds and fog for the Americas. A bunch of moisture making its way across the central U.S. toward the Great Lakes. Precipitation type. Some rain, some snow, some hot air. Check it out, it's the hot air capital of the world. Hot air capital, Colorado. Next, weather.gov. There are your warnings. Want to get your own? Weather.gov. Forecasts are next, starting with GFS 72 hour. So there you go. GFS 72 hour pressure and precipitation. GFS 72 hour total accumulated precipitation in inches. GFS accumulated positive snow depth change in inches. 72 hour model. And last but not least, GFS temperature anomaly forecast in degrees Celsius. Warm weather coming to the east. Dust off your bikes. It's bike riding season once again. Next, lightning. And welcome to the Smash News Network, the Spots to Name of News. Thanks for tuning in. There is lightning, and I don't like that map. It looks all jacked up. So here's a real-time lightning map, and we have some strikes in the U.S., folks. Maybe not. Oh, maybe so. South of Cheyenne? I don't know. Whatever. There's some lightning in some places. And if you want to see a real-time lightning map yourself, check it out at lightningmaps.org. We'll close out with U.S. Doppler radar. Don't forget clouds and fog. And water vapor. Your recap. Doppler radar. Shortwave radiation. And the water vapor. And I am out. It's time to shut up for the rest of the day. Till tomorrow, I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. Smash Mash, signing off, and may that solar wind be at your back.